What is going on, good people? We are back to review NXT TakeOver UK Blackpool. That is still a lot to say. They need to somehow shorten that.
Actually, it's NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool.
Shut up.
That's what they said.
Anyway, we did not watch the pre-show. I am gonna go back and watch the pre-show. I don't even know if there were matches on it. I know there were dark matches, but I don't know if they were on the pre-show. So if anyone knows, let us know. I'm gonna watch it after this anyway. But we don't usually watch the pre-shows. DJ used to. I don't even think he does anymore because half the time there's not even any.
Well, half
Wow.
the time I think what happens is I don't get like this was a show I didn't get to watch live. So like if I watch it live, I'll try to watch the pre-show.
Yeah.
Or and a lot of times I either don't get to watch it live or I get home late, so I end up watching it either right when it starts or something like that. So that's
Yeah. Same. So overall thoughts on the show, DJ?
overall thoughts. I thought it was good. I felt like, and maybe it was just me, but it felt like these matches are long, like a lot of them. Like even the shorter matches felt a little like longer than they really were. I guess for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it's not like the show felt long. It's just like the matches, the individual matches felt long. It felt like there were a lot of matches that were just really, really long, and I don't think it was because like from the actual numbers, it wasn't that long, but for whatever reason, it just kind of felt. And I think like for example, Jordan Devlin and Finn Balor wasn't as long, but I think because of the segment that preceded it and the build up to the segment that preceded it, I think maybe that's what made it feel a little bit longer. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good show. That was my only gripe is I felt is the matches kind of at times dragged on some, where it just felt like they were just long, maybe even a little bit too long.
Yeah, I personally didn't have that issue. I did think that they were long, but I felt like I think as like a wrestling fan, a lot of times when you watch a lot of WWE, you get conditioned to watch short matches, and then a lot of matches.
That's what I was thinking too. Like when I knew that was something I was gonna say when we did the review, and I was like, maybe it's just that we're conditioned to having either a lot of short matches or just a bunch of matches, right? Like even on like just normal pay per views, there'll be like 8 to 10 matches on a pay per view. So
Yeah, and one thing that there's an echo. Why is there always an echo every time? I say anyway, and I forgot to take the thing off, DJ. I'm here too. We're still learning how to do this. It's been like 7 years. We're still learning how to do this. Um, but one thing I did like was the length of the matches because, and it's the same reason I like watching like New Japan because after a New Japan match, like it really feels like the competitors went through a grueling match, and it felt like this too. In this show, it felt like all these competitors went through grueling matches. After the matches, they're basically passed out, on the mat, struggling, struggling to get to the back. Whereas like on an average Monday Night Raw, you'll have somebody who barely looks like they even had a match.
well, and I think too that goes into a lot of times on Raw, and it's a little bit different with like pay per views because you have a little bit of that excess time that you can show after the match to watch them sell and watch them go, struggle back to the backstage area and whatnot. But I think especially with a weekly show like Raw or SmackDown or Impact or anything like that, I think you don't always see that because it's so quick to cut to commercial, which is kind of their job. It's kind of their producer's job is to be so quick to cut to commercial, to get in every commercial break you can get in. So, I think we can't blame the weekly shows for that, but I definitely think it did give like a fresh look to kind of see guys continuing to sell after the fact, and even like injuries that we didn't even necessarily know about if you hadn't watched NXT UK. I can't remember the guy's name right off, but hopefully when we get to the match, I'll be able to remember him. But he was selling the knee even during his entrance, and that like that's like the little things that I always kind of pick up on and enjoy when I'm watching wrestling.
Yeah, that was the Travis Banks match.
Yeah,
Well, almost the Travis.
somewhat match.
Moving on. First match of the night was the NXT UK Tag Team Championship Tournament Finals. They making me say lots of words. Lots of words. I didn't really get to watch the whole tournament. Because I've been trying to watch the UK show, but there's so much that we have to, watch anymore. And I feel like we always have that argument, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's always good to have a lot of wrestling content, but then when you have to try to watch it all and review it all, it gets tough. But we had in the finals Mustache Mountain versus James Drake and Zach Gibson. Right from the opening of this match, I knew this was going to be an awesome show just from the fans. The fans were really rowdy. They were really into it. And, I think that a lot of times makes or breaks a show. And it feels like they're always like this when they go to the UK. The fans over there are always, really behind their British wrestlers and everything. So that's always a good thing. Also, I really like, and I haven't said this about WWE titles in a long time. I really like these new tag team belts. They're actually unique. They look good.
I think they pop too. Like the colors pop in them. Like
Yeah,
you look at them and you'll be like, man, that's a good looking title. And I mentioned that to you in a message. I don't remember if you replied or not, but I was just like, why do the NXT UK titles look so good compared to everything else?
yeah,
Just because like obviously the the UK championship looks really good. The women's championship kind of mirrors that in a way. But the tag titles, like you said, they got me too. Like I was like, those look really nice. Like those look like something I would really like to win, something that I would like keep a replica of or something like that. Because they just, and I think like they have like integral designs in them, which is
yeah,
cool. Like they have different little things that like make it unique to the UK.
yeah. And I almost felt like the straps looked darker than usual. Like obviously the black straps, which are most titles, but maybe it was the plates that made them, that made it pop a little bit more. But they just look really good. I like them. Um, but otherwise, these are two teams that I love. So I was very kind of happy to see the show open with this match. Usually, a match like this would be, third or fourth match in to kind of build up. And there's two DJs in here. What is going on right now? I don't understand. I'm so confused. Anyway, um, so yeah, I was very excited to see this match open the show. Um, you know, I he's just confusing me right now because there's two of them, and I don't know why. Anyway, but yeah, two teams I love. I think that this, at least for me, watching this match, I feel like this was probably one of the best tag team matches that I've seen in a WWE show in a long time. It had length. There was storytelling in there. Um, you know, uh, you I even liked you know Mustache Mountain coming out with in homage to the British Bulldogs, which was kind of cool. But I was definitely happy that James Drake and Zach Gibson won. I think you know part of me was like, I really hope they don't give the titles right to Mustache Mountain, just because like WWE does that a lot. I think with especially when they bring in a new title, they always give it to an established star or something like that, or somebody that the fans know really well, which in a way makes sense. But I like that they gave the titles to James Drake and Zach Gibson, who are very well known in British wrestling. I'm a fan of them, but the average WWE fan coming in may not know them, and that, shows, okay, we're gonna give you these new titles. Can you build yourself and build these titles in with our fan base? And I think that's gonna be a good test for them to see, if they can do that. But DJ, are you still there?
I am. I'm right here. I'm sorry, I got thirsty. Had to go get some drink, and well, I had original drink, but I got a craving. In the middle of the video. I think it was from a Snapchat filter or something. I saw a Snapchat filter, and I was like, "This has to happen." So,
Yes, man.
making some 11 o'clock coffee.
You,
Gonna turn my camera on here for a minute. But anyway,
coffee at 11 o'clock.
we back. Mobilized. So it's two of me for now. I will get rid of this version of me for the other version of me here in a minute. That's my twin. But this match was good though. I enjoyed it. It's weird looking at my face on this screen. And anyway, but I enjoyed it though. I thought it was a good match. I was excited to see Zach Gibson and why his partner's name always skip my mind. What's his?
I said it like 5 times. James Drake.
Shawn Michaels lookalike. That guy. Yeah. He looks like Shawn Michaels. If you look at him when at the beginning of the match, I was like, this man looks just like Shawn Michaels. Like I'm liking this man already. But Drake, Drake, and Zach Gibson. I liked him a lot though. I do. And I was, like you said, and to kind of piggyback off you, I was excited that they won because I felt like they'd give it to Mustache Mountain just because they were the established team, just because they were the popular team. So why not? But and I think it's been cool to see Gibson because he won the UK tournament, but he's kind of went into the tag team round, which is cool. Because typically when you win a big tournament like that, they put you right in the main title picture instead of maybe you going into the tag team division or you going into some other division or something like that and kind of elevating that too. But I like that though. I like, their heel tactics. I like what they do. But I also like Mustache Mountain. There were some cool little spots in there. I always love the no hands springboard type thing that Tyler Bate does. Especially when it's reversed. When it's reversed, it's awesome. It's funny. It's amazing. And you're just like, oh my God, he did, because he sells it so well, like from the no hands little springboard thing to whatever he's about to take. Like he sells it so well. But I'm excited for Drake and Gibson. I want to see what they do. I want to see if they get a some sort of long run or how it kind of goes. And I want to see who else is around too, because I know they got the Joe Coffey's group. Giannis or Giannis. I can't remember what the name is right offhand. It starts with a G, but I can't really pronounce it that well.
Yeah, Gallus or something like that.
Gallus, yes, I think it's Gallus. I think it is Gallus. But they got that group, so they got a tag team within there. Joe Coffey's obviously going for the UK title in some form or fashion. I don't know if he'll continue to go for it, but he's kind of on his own, I guess, right now. So I wonder what they're going to do with them and if they'll challenge for the title or something like that. It'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Next, we get a clip of Jordan Devlin attacking Travis Banks as he arrived to the venue earlier in the evening or in the day, whatever. So that kind of built up into the feud and the match coming up, which the next match was Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know why I did that. But Banks attacks Devlin before he can, or wait, I think that was right. Yeah, did he attack? Yeah, before he can get in the ring. Yeah, because Devlin turned it around and continued to attack the knee of Banks that was injured earlier in the backstage attack. This ends up, taking Banks out. Basically, they take him to the back, and out comes his replacement. Dun dun, dun. That's when the dun 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 comes in. That's when you do dun 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 dun. Finn Balor. I as soon as Finn Balor came out, I texted DJ and I was like, "Here WWE go again, giving us a match we wanted 2 years ago." because I know we were talking about it back the original UK tournament where Jordan Devlin was introduced to us, talking about how he was trained by Finn Balor, and we kind of wanted to see Finn Balor versus Jordan Devlin, just to kind of see how that would play out. And unfortunately, that was right after, or shortly before Finn Balor was returning from his injury, so that wasn't about to happen. But this was kind of cool, good replacement. I don't know. I imagine that Travis Banks is actually injured. I imagine that's why they did the replacement. I don't know why else they would do that, considering Finn Balor had to fly back to the States for Raw. That poor man. That poor man. Hopefully he get the frequent flyer miles. I hope he get those. But I love this match. The build up to finally seeing these two face off each other with each other. It's always interesting to see, student versus teacher. I felt like they were very similar in ways. Physically very similar, and then in ring very similar. Which would make sense. You learn a lot from your, mentors, your teachers. But Finn Balor does get the win, which I wasn't surprised. So that definitely was a good match. I want to see what they do with Jordan Devlin from there or from here. I want to see if they continue to have Finn Balor in any sort of creative role or I mean storyline role with him or anything like that, or if this is just going to be a one and done match and then they forget about it, and that's probably what they're going to do. DJ, thoughts on Finn Balor versus Jordan Devlin?
Oh, wrong button. Sorry, guys. Still learning this phone. Still learning this phone here, But I was excited for this match, just because it was Jordan Devlin and Finn Balor, and like you said, we both were looking forward to seeing this 2 years ago, but we didn't get it until tonight. But ironically enough, we got it the first takeover, and I think it kind of was cool because it reminded you a little bit of Cesaro versus Sami Zayn. Not that they had necessarily like trained or whatever, but it was like one of those like, ooh, this is a cool match from like the original NXT. Was it Takeover? Was it NXT the first Takeover where they had their match, or was it before? Or was it Arrival? One of the two. It was like one of the very first NXT takeovers or NXT special events where they had their big match, which was cool. So I thought that was cool. I was excited to see this match, and I thought it was good. I mean, I was surprised it was a little shorter than it was. It was a little short, and I think it almost felt somewhat one sided at times. And obviously like Finn Balor and Jordan Devlin. I guess the main roster fans is just like, who's Jordan Devlin? Just somebody he trained on, But still, like, I mean, it was exciting to see. It was cool. It would be cool if Jordan Devlin like invaded Raw or something, and like they had like a follow up match to kind of get people, because that would be a good way for WWE to get people to watch NXT UK and get people to watch the specials and stuff like that. I don't know why they don't do that more often. But who knows? They probably won't do that. But I wonder what they're gonna do next with Jordan Devlin. Obviously, he'll be doing something with Travis Banks. But still, like you almost wonder what they're gonna do with him. I think it's gonna be a one-off match for Finn Balor. I think we probably won't see this match again for a while. If we see it again, soon, it probably won't. It probably won't be soon. I don't think. But good match nonetheless. I wasn't surprised if Finn Balor won. I kind of wish Devlin would have won, though, to be honest. Just for his kind of cred in NXT UK.
But at the same time, I feel like that wouldn't have made sense for, Finn Balor to lose to, I don't know. But moving on, we had a no disqualification match. Eddie Dennis versus DJ just leaves. DJ just leaves versus Dave Mastiff. And we're going to wait a minute for DJ to come back because I'm giving DJ this match because he left. So
if you would listen, I told you earlier. I said I was gonna leave and go back to the other me, the twin me, but no, I was gonna do the twin magic. I'm gonna do that Bella twin. Well, let's be honest. The Basham brothers started it. The Basham brothers magic, you know.
okay, so this your match. This you get this one.
Okay. Dave Master. Give me the other guy's name. I can't. It's gonna take me a while to remember these people's names. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Dave Master versus Eddie Dennis.
Yeah, the dentist, the dentist, you know, the dentist, you know, Eddie the dentist, you know. I love this match. I thought this match was probably match of the night for me. It was awesome. Like I loved it. It was cool. I was excited that we got a this qualification match for the first NXT UK Takeover, Blackpool to be specific. You know, it was cool. I love the power aspects with Dennis. The dentist. Sorry. You know, I love the power aspect. You know, he every time he took big old Mastiff up, it felt like it was like, oh my God, can he do it? Can he? You know, it was kind of cool. It felt like it was like, you know, Hogan slamming Andre. Maybe not to that extent, but still, it was like a big moment. Like every time he did it, because like the commentators were just like, oh my God, he got him up. He got him up. He got, and I loved it. It was awesome. What?
Nothing.
Mastiff is a big fella.
You got him up. He got him up.
That's what they said. Mastiff is a big fella. Okay. But Mastiff ended up winning. I like this match, even though they didn't use like every weapon ever to be used in life. It was still good. They found some unique ways to use different stuff. That swinging like backbreaker type thing they did on the steel steps was brutal. I was like, oh, not this way. But like they used they only used a couple of weapons. They used a table, steel steps, and I think a chair and a kendo stick. But they tried to use them in different ways, especially like the steel steps and you know, incorporating the table in different ways, incorporating the table in the finish was good. So I enjoyed it. I thought this was like one of the best matches of the night, to be honest. Casey, he's got him up. Casey, he's got him.
You know what they should have did that it never been done before. They should have did was they should have thrown the steel steps.
You mean threwed?
Yeah, they should have threwed the steel steps because they ain't never seen that before. Not one time. We've seen it like 7 times, but we ain't seen it but one time. I did like this match too. I was excited for a no DQ match. I also, psychology wise, I like that they kept the weapons to a minimum, with the fact that these two guys are really big guys. So you know you can just use your size, you know, to as a weapon. You don't necessarily need all these weapons to. Unless you're going to use something that's going to mean something, you know, like using a chair, make sure you mean it, or, you know, like the backbreaker thing on the steel steps, you know, too often I feel like, you know, promotions have hardcore matches or no DQ matches just for the sake of having them. And it just, you know,
you're going to hate me for this, but, Mastiff reminds me of Otis Dozovich.
I was gonna say they need to be a tag team. They need to be a tag team.
He came out and I'm like, is this the UK version of Otis Dozovich, or am I wrong? like this man, like they mirror each other, and they, like I think I agree. They should be a tag team. Hashtag big boy tag teams for life.
That's what we're gonna call them. Hashtag the big boys. Yeah, big fellas. Big old fellas. But yeah, I definitely like this match. I wouldn't say it was match of the night or nothing.
It was match of the night, you know, match of the night, greatest match of all time in NXT UK Blackpool, baby.
I wouldn't
TakeOver. Sorry, I forgot. There's so many names in that name, bro. So many.
I know. That though, you know, I wouldn't be saying all of that. But I would be saying the next match is the NXT UK Women's Championship match. We got Toni Storm challenging Rhea Ripley for the the X and the T UK Women's Championship of the World and Blackpool. See, we can't say other world in Florida because Florida ain't in the UK. You gotta say the world and Blackpool. It makes sense. I was half a fan of this match because I'm not a huge fan of Rhea Ripley.
What?
I know we were
Me either, but
we were impressed with her in the Mae Young Classic. We were. Toni Storm's just better. To me personally, I like Toni Storm better. But I did like this match. I liked Rhea working on the back and core of Toni Storm. Really, selling the fact that their first match for the title, Toni Storm's back was injured, and they kept selling that and selling that. So I definitely like that. They didn't just forget about it. But I don't know. I liked it, and the only thing is, this felt, I don't know why, but this match felt exhausting to me. Probably because I felt like there was like 800 false finishes, and like I knew my girl Toni was gonna win. I was just like, when's the finish though? Like, just give her the title, because she does. She got the new hairdo. That
it's
I'm
longer, ain't it?
I'm not a fan of. I don't like the
It's
back.
longer. It's longer, ain't it? Ain't it longer?
I think so, which is weird. Like, I know it's probably like extensions, but like, how you get a haircut and your hair longer though? How you did that? But Toni Storm does win and is the new NXT UK Women's Champion of the World and Blackpool. DJ.
This right here, terrible. Rhea Ripley, I like Rhea Ripley. She's stiff, no botching, she crisp. But I do like Rhea Ripley though. She's growing on me every time I see her. And I think what got me tonight was the promo. She was like, I didn't beat you already. That's all I do is beat you. And I'm like, there we go. We need the words coming out. That's what I need. I need the words from Rhea Ripley. Let's go. She gonna win this match. She gonna win it. And she went in there. And she dominated. Okay? She went in there and she worked her. She worked her. She worked that back. She worked her back, okay? She worked it. She grinded up in there, She worked it.
Who won?
And somehow Toni Storm won this match. I think it was robbery. I need a recount. I think the count was too fast or something. Yeah, I think you only counted the 2 when they rang the bell. Some collusion was going on here. Some collusion. But I'm not necessarily mad at Toni Storm won. I just thought it was weird that Rhea Ripley had a title for like 2 weeks. Like, bruh, what was the point? Just give it to Toni Storm in the first place. Right? Like, why give it to Rhea Ripley anyway? Like, I expected Toni Storm to be the one to win it at the beginning anyway. I thought they would just give it to her because she won the second Mae Young Classic. That's what I was thinking, but I guess not. You got to earn your stuff and whatnot. But I'm glad Rhea Ripley won it. It's a little bit one of those things where, like, if they would have did my second option, which was give Toni Storm the title at the beginning, then you got that typical first ever run that's got to be like 3 years long. So I guess they had to go with Rhea Ripley winning and then Toni Storm taking it off Rhea Ripley. But I think they could have let Rhea Ripley or Rhea, I don't know how to say her name, Rhea Ripley, whatever. Okay, Ripley. I think they should have let her hold it for a little bit longer just to like have that chase for Toni Storm, because I think fans would have enjoyed it more. Like, fans would have enjoyed it more. Like, just giving Toni Storm the title. Everybody knows she's gonna win the title. She's freaking Toni Storm. They push her in everything ever. But my girl now, Rhea Ripley come out here. Rhea Ripley come out here, okay? And she get robbed. I just I disagree with how they played this match. I disagree. Disagree. Kurt.
So you agree? Is that what I'm understanding? Is that you completely agree with what they did? Because what they did was the right thing to do. What they did,
they should have at least let it go to the next takeover. I understand they probably don't even know when that is. It's probably like 3 years from now, But still, like they could have had it go to the next takeover. I'm sure the next takeover is gonna be. I mean, shoot, that's weird. It's weird though because we're gonna have an NXT. I would think, and this is just my opinion on how they should book it. You would think they would do it every month that NXT is not having a takeover. So like maybe like the next month, like so because obviously NXT don't have them every other month or anything like that. But maybe that month in between or those 2 months in between, have it right there. Because I think I think they're gonna continue to kill us if they add NXT takeovers from the UK. Along because I mean let's think about it. January. It's already, it's January already. We've had an NXT takeover. We've had it felt like we just had TLC. I know it was in December, but still that was at the end of December. We had NXT takeover UK. We're gonna have another takeover for NXT for just, I don't even know what you call NXT now. Normal NXT, United States NXT, Florida NXT, I don't know. But traditional NXT, they're gonna have a takeover for them. Then they're gonna have another Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I think if 2019 is anything, if 2018 is anything to learn from, don't oversaturate us even more. Why don't you just kind of offset them some so we can have something to look forward to? Because I think with WWE you have to have something to look forward to, and I think that's something they need to start doing again. Like don't get me wrong, we're gonna look forward to them, but despite themselves, but still. If you offset them a little bit, it makes it a little bit more comfortable for us to watch. I think.
See, what worries me is WWE is slowly, taking over like the world wrestling wise.
Yeah, I know with that NXT takeovers, they take it. Oh, you didn't mean with the.
No, I didn't.
Oh, my bad.
See, so now,
we gotta get NXT Japan. Sorry.
That's what I'm trying to get at. That I'm worried about is they have the UK now. They have their own performance center now in the UK. That's eventually gonna go to other countries now. Like probably gonna be an NXT Japan or an NXT China or it's just
NXT India.
Is this how it's gonna go? And are we gonna have another NXT then? It's just I don't know. Yes. DJ loved to dance. He loved to fun.
I love to dance. Where he at though? I need it back. He was hitting his stride, baby. Come on.
He wasn't. He wasn't. Anyway,
there was a point in there. He was hitting his stride, and then
moving on to the main event of the evening. Thank you. The NXT. Wait, is it the NXT UK Championship or is it just the UK Championship?
UK Championship.
Well, then why is the women's the NXT Women's UK? Why isn't it just the UK Women's Champion? Why they confusing me with all this? Anyway, Pete Dunne defending against Joe Coffey. Pete Dunne has literally been champion for like 600 and some days. Bruh, I did not even think it was that long.
Right. Like I feel like we've forgotten. And I think like it's easier for Pete Dunne to be champion and maybe not in the UK, just because, they might be feeling like we feel about Brock Lesnar, not necessarily in that way, but as far as like length of reign, like that, but yeah, like he's been champion for a long time. And I think we don't notice it because we don't see him every week. Right. Yeah. Because he's not on NXT every week. He's not on even necessarily probably even on NXT UK every single week. So like, I think like, obviously that show just started and he wasn't on NXT every week beforehand. So we'd only see him every once in a while. So I think we just, a lot of times we'd be like, is Pete Dunne still the champion? He is? How long has this been? 600 days? Really? like it's been like that. Like, and I think it's just because we haven't seen him as much.
it's so many days that the Wikipedia page for the UK title literally says 603 plus days. It don't even give the exact number of days. It's just like we're just gonna guess from now. 603 plus. Just keep it like that.
What is, because I know he said he was going for the record for the highest in the modern era. What is the highest in the modern era?
I have no idea. I don't want to know. But anyway, we'll figure that out. I thought this was match of the night for me. I love Pete Dunne. I love Joe Coffey. This was a hard hitting, very technical match. You know, they threw everything they could at each other, from so many different, submissions and joint manipulations to, just the power of Joe Coffey. I was surprised Mark Coffey and Wolfgang didn't come out at all during the match. That was a little bit of a surprise. But then again, I was like, what confuses me about Pete Dunne is like, is he a heel? Is he a face? I don't know.
I think he's a face with his similar with his like still his heel tactics, I guess, with like the joint.
I mean, I guess he's a tweener. I guess you would call him a tweener. But I love this match. I thought it was really good. The only thing, and this goes into the Pete Dunne reign being like 600 and some days. I was kind of upset that he didn't drop the title to Joe Coffey, just because Joe Coffey's really good. I've watched him for a while, even before the UK tournament. I'd watched him for a while, and I can't believe I'm saying this because DJ's gonna be all IC Dub. I watched him for a while in ICW, so I've been a fan of him for a while. I was like, okay, why didn't you drop the title to him? Pete Dunne's been the champion for 600 and some days. What more can he do? Like,
I mean, and he says he's going for the longest reign in the modern era. He got it by like a long shot, because CM Punk has 434, and there's nobody like Bob Backlund in 1978 is 648. So I don't know where, I don't know. I can't remember how long Brock had it, but I think the thing is Brock might have had it for a long time, but Brock lost it during that time. Like he lost it to Goldberg during that time, and I think in his previous reign he lost it, at some point during that time. So I don't know what exactly they're trying to prove with having him, continue to be the champion.
Yeah. So Pete Dunne does end up winning. After the match, Walter comes out, who is another big UK wrestler, big fan base wise, and he a big man.
Big fella.
Physical wise, he's a big man. Definitely excited. Obviously he's going to be the next challenger for Pete Dunne. I'm definitely excited about that. I've seen a little bit of him. I've seen him live once, a year ago, something like that. So he's definitely really good. I'm excited to see more of him. I'm excited to see them, what they do in a match together. But DJ?
Yeah, I was excited for this match too, because I like Joe Coffey. And I like coffee but it was there. Do
you like a cup of Joe?
A cup of Joe, he got like the perfect coffee name. Like he really does. But I wonder what his middle name is. Anyway,
Black coffee.
I know I was gonna make a joke and I'm already past the joke, so I can't make it anymore. But I'll make it anyway. I was gonna call him Joseph Cappuccino. That was the plan, but I forgot about it until I just made his middle name Cappuccino. So, but anyway, I thought this was good too. I enjoyed it. It just won't better than the LDQ match, I'm saying. But it was a good match though. It was a good match. They fought to the bitter end. Literally, they fought to the bitter end. And I love the little transition at the end, where he hit the bitter end and then kind of goes into a submission, kind of going that extra mile. And that's something you don't always see too. I think in matches is going that extra mile to get the win. Like you've hit the bitter end 8 times, he's gonna kick out. Okay, he's going to kick out. go ahead and lock in this submission and make him tap out. It's kind of like, and we talk about it with Brock Lesnar, like you've hit all these suplexes, you've hit the F5 4 times. He's going like it doesn't make sense for him not to kick out for him not to kick out now. So go ahead and go into the Kimura that he doesn't use anymore. But anyway, good match nonetheless. It was good. It was back and forth. I think they did a good job of booking this to the point where you didn't know who was going to win. They did a good job of booking this where Joe Coffey had some legit shots where you were like, oh, he going to win. Like, and plus, it helps that Pete Dunne's been champion for 600 days because you're like, anybody can take this title off of him. Like, I could probably step in the ring and the people would be like, you know what? He ain't got much of a chance, but dang on it, he got a little bit. So, like I like the fact that his reign's been so long because now it brings out that surprise of who is going to win the title. And it's interesting that Joe Coffey didn't win, but I like that he didn't win too because you don't want the first challenger of the first time you battle in NXT UK to always become the champion. I feel like because that becomes predictable too. But it was a good match. I want to see what they do with Joe Coffey now, especially if tall William Regal is going to come in and what's his name? Walter Regal was going to come in and
oh no. This man don't look nothing like William Regal.
He had the little nose in the air. He had the little jacket on. He did the little thing with his hand behind the back. I was like, this man is William friggin' Regal, dang on it. This man is William. He just ain't got the hair. He ain't got the hair like William had. William had the hair back then. He probably was hiding the brass knucks in there and everything, man. But I like it though. I wonder if he's gonna be the guy to take the title off of him. But he's a guy where like it can set up for another long reign just because of his size and can anybody beat him and stuff like that. You almost wonder too. So I wonder what they're gonna do with tall William Regal. I wonder what exactly they're gonna do with this big fella. And if he's gonna beat Pete Dunne. Because I really don't know right off who should beat Pete Dunne. I don't know if he's I don't know if he's a heel right off. So that makes it a little bit interesting too. But still, I'm interested, and I want to see, like I said before, what they're going to do with Joe Coffey since they're kind of pushing him out of the title picture now, and he's got a group of 3 that he has to kind of man too. So does he kind of go in the tag team with his brother, and then have Wolfgang kind of do some stuff on his own, or what they're gonna do? But I'm excited though. Like I want to see what they do. Definitely with a lot of these guys. I don't know if it's gonna make me want to watch NXT UK every single week, but I think I'm gonna try to catch it every now and again, and definitely catch the takeovers if nothing else. So
yeah. And we'll definitely do the reviews for the takeovers. We're not necessarily going to do a weekly NXT UK review, but we'll at least get the takeovers out.
And I think like we'll try to keep up to date on like if a title changes during the show or something. Yeah. We'll probably talk about that. We'll probably go watch whatever happened with that and then talk about that. But I think, like you said, we'll probably not do a full review. But if we can, maybe if something big happens, we'll be like, here it is.
Literally, that's all. Here it is.
Yeah, here it is. We're gonna be like, here it is this week. All right, bye. Like that's what.
It's gonna be the new show. There's gonna be our new show called Here It Is.
No.
But that was NXT TakeOver UK, Blackpool UK, TakeOver UK TakeOver the world, UK, Kingdom, United, England, and Ireland and all that. And then anyway, be sure, hit that subscribe button, leave comments, hit us up on Twitter at ICW_podcast. Follow us on there. We will be back as soon as we can for Impact, for maybe tomorrow, depending. We've been still kind of busy. We're still trying to get everything back in order, but we got that coming up. And
and I think the time we try to get things in order, like every show is thrown at us all at the same time.
yeah. But we will see you guys on the flippity dippity.